So the technology we're going to talk about is something that was described or was a concept of science fiction long time ago. We all remember the movie Star Trek. In the movie, we all noticed that device was perfect. You just scan the patient and it would tell you whatever the problem that patient had. Today, companies have tried to imitate this kind of device. It's a combination of different measurement tools, medical tools come all together. What does it measure? Blood pressure, temperature, blood flow, heart rate, oximetry, run an electrocardiogram, and urine analysis, and many different functionalities. The good news is not only doctors gonna use that, but anybody can use it. It's something you could store in your pocket.
In my opinion, the medical tricorders will eventually replace your routine tests that you perform at your doctor's office or with a nurse. The whole medical industry will be disrupted by easy-to-do tests that you can take in your own home. There will be future benefits of increased efficiencies and further collaborations in the medical field.
We expect to initially have resistance from people working in the medical industry, such as doctors or nurses, as they would view it as a competition or making their jobs obsolete. But we will suggest a B2B collaboration that will make their industries profit as well. Another point of inertia could simply be the group of patients who would rather be seen by a real doctor for the sake of human interaction, which creates an ethical dilemma. Is this technology robbing certain parts of population's opportunity for social interaction by forcing them to use the medical tricorder?
As the tricorder has yet to be released on the market, it is still in the innovator's phase of the Rogers adoption curve. But the idea of medical tricorders has for some time gained a lot of attention, and many other research entities are looking into building one. At this moment, Stanford University are working on a medical tricorder that would be able to look for growing tumors for early cancer detection, which would be groundbreaking if it became reality.
There's a company that already makes such a product called Scanadu. Their prototype, the Scout, is currently getting federal government approval for release in the United States. It can do all the measurements that we mentioned earlier, and they're also working on expanding the complexities and battery of tests that it can run to include such tests as non-invasive blood sugar measurements.
The expiration of patents in 2007 in this industry provides an opportunity for Scanadu to patent technologies related to its Scanadu Scout. And specifically, the non-invasive feature of this product ought to be patented because it clearly is the result of a great amount of research and development. Now, it's not a good idea to try to patent just about any variation in the products that exist in this industry, because in so doing, it might stifle further innovation. The goal really ought to be just to secure patents for those innovations that have been the result of intensive research and development.
In foretelling the future of the medical tricorders, we see companies or competitors like in the wearable industry like Apple Watch and Fitbit would be a potential competitors. Although we think medical tricorders will be really quick improving their products, but the real problem is going to be when those wearable companies catching up with the medical tricorders. Hence, we recommend not to target individuals. Rather, we should target boards and hospitals, because if hospitals get to use this is going to make them save time and money whenever patients come and see the doctor at the hospital. We actually going to recommend doctors at hospitals to advise their patients to use this machine or that tricorder at home.
We, as a medical tricorder manufacturing company, will then move into making the software in which the cloud database with the medical data of the patient is stored. The software would have the functions for nurses and doctors to easily glance through possible illnesses, as the software would categorize the symptoms and determine which illnesses the patient might have, and suggest which prescriptions would be a good idea and which instructions to go with it. Basically, this software would only be available for the doctors and the nurses, so only they could make the decision.
This is what's happening. This is the old patient at home. What he does, he uses the medical tricorder. He scans himself. Then the data will be sent to the cloud, the IT cloud. This cloud will store this information, whereas the doctor will have access to this information.
The advantage of the medical tricorder is that it is a small handheld device able to carry out medical measurements of separate devices. In regards to the compatibility attribute of Rogers, our idea of a database in the cloud will be using medical tricorders that are only compatible with the software that we will release to the hospitals, getting them accustomed to its use and getting the technology locked into their daily practices. The very low level of complexity in the use of the medical tricorder is one of its biggest relative advantages. It can, as earlier mentioned, be used by people with little to no medical schooling. When doctors start using the medical tricorder in their daily practice, an observability process happens for the patients. Doubt regarding the device will lessen, and it will be seen as a credible machine by the patients. Trialability. If the doctor intends to let the patient take home the device for home use, he will be demonstrating its use for the patient, also causing the patient to link greater credibility to the device.